This is She Creates Business, a podcast for wedding pros. Your host, Kinsey Roberts, interviews incredible women in the wedding industry who are making their mark and creating success on their terms. Join the conversation.
Hi there, welcome to She Creates Business, a podcast for wedding pros. This is your host, Kinsey Roberts. Thank you for tuning in today, wherever you are. I really appreciate it, and hope you're having a great day, wherever you are. We are on with another Tip Tuesday. It's just a 10 to 15 minute episode where I give you a tip or an idea or an experiment that I'm trying in my own wedding business to see if it might be something that could work for you or to spark some ideas in you and kind of get those creative juices flowing. So today I thought it would be great to talk a little bit about automation. There's a couple of things. They're not rocket science. I didn't make them up. They're not, brand new things that's, I created or anything, but there's a couple of things that I do in my business that are really helpful when it comes to automation, because it means that I don't have to recreate the wheel each time I have to perform these tasks that happen on a daily basis or weekly basis or monthly basis in my business, in my wedding venue business. So wanted to share a couple of those things with you because they can be helpful to save us time, to kind of save us brain space and save energy. And also, I believe that they are actually a great way to provide an outstanding client experience, because in this day and age when folks want answers right away or they need information right away, or, the instant gratification thing, I know we've talked about it before on the show. I think these automation tools help provide some of that in a really attainable way for anybody. So the first thing I wanted to tell you guys about, and this should come as no surprise, is the way I schedule tours. I've talked about it before on the podcast, but at the venue, I don't schedule tours via email or on the phone or go back and forth with people and say, well, what time's good for you? I don't know what time's good for you. Katie and I got together. We decided what days we would give tours during the week, and just as importantly, what days we would not give tours during the week, because we both work outside of the venue and we both have other commitments and kids and stuff. And so we decided on our hours and on the days, which will change a little bit in 2018, but what we did is we took that availability and we put it into a scheduling tool. I use Acuity Scheduling. Full disclosure, I work for them full time, and so I use their system, although I used it before I started working for them. But full disclosure, I work for them, but this is not like an infomercial for Acuity Scheduling. Anyway, so we decided on our hours, we input our availability into Acuity, and anytime, whether it's via email or on our website, or if somebody's leaves me a voicemail or calls me, I always just point him to that same link. You can go to vistaviewevents.com/book/tour, and you can book your tour with us. I'll get notified automatically that you're coming and I'll meet you out there. It's so easy. I don't have to go back and forth about what times work for them. And we have found it actually a really great way to book tours without even trying, really. Sometimes, in fact, many times, especially as we get closer to engagement season now, we're finding that people are finding us on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, or, just word of mouth, and they're going automatically to our website, of course, and then they see that they can book a tour right away. And so a lot of times what I'm seeing in the last couple of months is that people are booking tours and we haven't even talked to them yet. So it's been really handy for us, and it eliminates a lot of that really frustrating communication where you're trying to find a day that works best for you. Now, I will tell you that I have certainly had times where people say, hey, I can't come, on Saturday or Sunday, or I am only available Wednesday night or Thursday afternoon or whatever. And in that scenario, if I feel like it's somebody who really truly can't come on a weekend, or if it's somebody who is, definitely going to book with us and they're really promising, then I'll go out there during the weekday. That rarely ever happens because I tell people, hey, I'm available on the weekend. But if it is, don't think that I'm just totally declining people during the week, because I'm not. But I don't really get those that often. I just wanted to be totally transparent and say that sometimes people do come back and say, hey, I see you only give tours on Saturdays and Sundays. I'm not available on those days. And we accommodate them because we want them to see the venue, right? Okay, so Acuity Scheduling, it's been phenomenal. If you have a planning business, it would be great to schedule your consultations using Acuity. If you have a photography business, And, if you're doing mini sessions for the holidays or for graduation pictures or whatever, it would be awesome to set up your scheduling system on something like Acuity so that people can just come to your website and just book with you. They can just say, yep, I already know I want a mini session. Here's her available dates. I'm booking with her. Or I already know I'm getting my senior pictures. Here's her available dates and times. I want to book with her. So, or if you own a bridal shop and you're by appointment only for fittings or for alterations, etc., then pop that schedule on your website and send brides there. It's so easy. And like I say, I think it provides a great customer experience. So there's that automated scheduling. I really enjoy it. And if you have any questions about it, totally happy to answer. The second thing that I do that is automated in our business is I have canned responses in both Dubsado, which is the contract management system that I use and payment system that we use, and also in Gmail. So we use like Google suite of tools for our business, for vistaviewevents.com and Dubsado. And in both of those systems, we have canned responses because when brides inquire, their personal story and their details are all very important and unique to us, but they also all ask the same questions, right? Everybody wants to know how long they can stay here, or what our price is, or can they have alcohol, et cetera, et cetera. And so we always get some kind of variation of the same question. And even though people's stories are unique and personalities are unique, the answer is the answer. You know what I mean? There's no way to really like insert their personality into my answer of, yes, you can have alcohol here. You know what I'm saying? So I have canned responses in Google and in Dubsado. Dubsado, I don't answer those questions. That's for contracts and stuff. But in Google, and I just pop in those answers like canned response, or I have like text expander where I just, type in a code and it like pops up, in the email. And then that way I can personalize it where it needs to be personalized and where it's appropriate. And I can insert my personality and I can treat them like the human being that they are. But when it comes time to just answering those questions, I can do it really quickly and just copy paste really quick, or just canned response, boom, or just text expander, boom. You know what I mean? So it saves me a lot of keystrokes, and it's also a good customer service experience because I get back to people really, really quickly. And Dubsado, a little different, still canned responses, but that's where I manage all my contracts and payments. And so whenever I'm sending a contract for someone to sign or an invoice for a retainer or what have you, it's all the same. Again, I personalize where I need to, but then the information is just the information. Like, this retainer is due upon receipt, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? So those are a couple of things that save time for me. The other thing that saves a lot of time for us, and this isn't like an automation tool, but it's something that has helped us, especially when we have tours. It's helped us even more than I thought it would. We have a really extensive FAQ section on our website. It gives you so much information, and it's almost every single question that a bride or a couple will ask us during a tour or in an email. And it's extensive and it's really detailed, and I'm even updating it more now. And I've heard a lot during tours when someone comes, they don't really have a ton of questions because, in their words, they've already read it on our website. Like, they've said how helpful our FAQ section is. They already know everything. And could we just clarify a few points, or here's some additional questions that they personally have for their personal wedding or what have you. But we've heard that that's been really helpful. So that's been great for tours because I don't have to rehash every single talking point. They've already read it themselves. And what's great is they know that it's there forever and they can go back and refer to it if they need to. And it's been really helpful for us. And we actually have that information in two places. The other place we have that FAQ information about our business, about what it's like to have a wedding at Vista View Events, is in our pricing guide. And I've talked about this on the podcast before, I believe in a Tip Tuesday. It was really more about, do you list pricing on your website? Why or why not? And this, so if you want to go back and listen to that episode, you totally can. My answer to that question was, we don't list it directly on our site, but what we do, which also feeds into automation, is we've put together like a wedding experience guide that's digital on our website, and our couples just go to our website and opt into it, and they automatically get the guide delivered to their email. The guide includes all of our pricing and all of our FAQs again, and some additional information about Katie and myself and a little welcome note and things like that. But from an automated perspective, they don't have to wait for me to reply to them to get our pricing, because I know, and I hear you guys, and I know what you're probably thinking. Some of you are like, well, I don't list my pricing on my website because I want to, convey the value and all of that. And I totally get that. But there are a lot of couples out there who really are just price shopping. That's the name of the game, and that's the nature of the business, and that's just the nature of humanity. So I don't want to make people wait because I think that I can convince everybody that our venue is so valuable and they need to book with us. Because at the end of the day, some people can't afford to get married here, and I don't want to make them feel bad by trying to push all of our value on them and them just saying like, hey, this is just out of my budget. So if it's out of their budget, 100% just completely off the rocker of their budget, then I don't want to waste their time, and I want them to be able to move on and actually find a venue that they feel really, really great about. So I don't list my pricing directly on the website, but it is in that wedding experience guide, and anybody can download it at any time and it gets delivered to them automatically. So anyway, sorry to rehash that pricing conversation. I didn't mean to do that. My bad. But just wanted to tell you like how we deliver our FAQs again, because we want to ingrain those into people. Like here's our FAQs. Here's the answers. Here's what it's like to have your wedding here. You know what I mean? I want people to see that over and over again. And it's been great to have it in both places. And then, of course, as part of the automation, that guide gets delivered automatically. It's set up on a sequence in ConvertKit, which is the email software that I use. So anyway, if you have any questions about that, shoot me an email. I'll be happy to help you out. If you don't use ConvertKit, I probably know enough information to be dangerous, but not a lot. So I can help you as best as I can. But if you do use ConvertKit, I can show you how to set it up. What else helps us when it comes to automation? I've already talked about Dubsado. Well, I guess, we use Dubsado for a lot more than just canned emails. All of our contracts, all of our documents are set up in Dubsado. So we have the main contract. We have an additional hour addendum that some people get. We have like a bring your own food addendum if some people are bringing their own food. We have just typical like regular event contracts. So we have quite a few contract templates for all of these different events and for all of our different price points. And those are all set up in Dubsado. So when somebody comes to me and they're booking a peak season wedding on a Saturday in July, I have a contract for that. And I don't have to like make it up every single time. I just pop it in and it's already pre-populated with that person's information. And then, or if somebody's, booking a wedding in off season on a Monday in November, well, there's a contract for that. And again, it just populates all of their information. So these are, again, it's not like I made these up. It's not rocket science, but I just wanted to remind you that there's these things that seem really simple that you may not have implemented in your business, or maybe you have some, but not all, or maybe, you haven't quite gotten there yet. Just wanted to, pitch in and remind you that there's little things you can do, like a couple of canned email responses in Google that can save you a lot of time and help you get accurate, really helpful information to your couples in a really short amount of time. So, you personalize where you need to, kind of at the beginning and at the end, and answer their questions that they ask, and then you can send it off. And I feel like, you put the work in once, and which is writing a really extensive, like well thought out, well drafted, informative email. And then you can send that to anybody who asks those questions. So anyway, just a couple examples there. Like I say, no like mystery around it. It's not like I made any of those things up. It's just what I'm using in my own business. And I'm sure I'll think of more. And if I do, I will hit you up with another tip Tuesday. But until then, I would love for you to share what you're doing in your own businesses to kind of automate. Doesn't have to be anything out, crazy. Just if you're using canned responses too or whatever, I'm always looking for new ways to improve my systems and my processes. And I would appreciate it if you had any tips for me. So thanks so much for listening today. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are. And again, thanks so much for being a listener of She Creates Business, a podcast for wedding pros. Literally, the podcast is nothing without you. So if you appreciated this episode or any episode of the show, if you want to share it, I would greatly appreciate that. You can share this episode, or you can just share the podcast, or leave us a review. Oh, and don't forget, oh my gosh, I can't believe I almost forgot this. Don't forget to come back here on November 21st. As I record this, is the 7th of November. So November 21st, in a couple of weeks, 2017, please come back to the podcast. I have the best, most exciting, super duper announcement. I hope I'm not building it up. I really don't think I am. I've been working really hard on this for months, and I cannot wait to tell you what it is. So please come back on November 21st so I can share this amazing news with you. You're the only one who's going to hear it on November 21st. I'm not telling anybody else. I'm not telling my email list, Instagram, whatever. The only people who are going to know are my husband and you. Okay, I will see you later. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. Catch you on Thursday.
Thank you so much for listening to She Creates Business. Please take a minute and head to iTunes to leave an honest review so we can help more wedding pros find the show.